left this world far too early. She didn't reach her 29th birthday next month.
In September 2021, a horrifying and tragic incident unfolded in the quiet southeast London neighbourhood of Kidbrooke, sending shockwaves through the community and sparking conversations about women's safety on the streets of the UK. This is the heartbreaking story of Sabina Nessa, a 28-year-old primary school teacher, and the brutal events that unfolded on a fateful evening. Sabina Nessa, a dedicated teacher, was born and raised in Sandy, Bedfordshire, England, alongside her older sister. Her story is one of determination and ambition. Sabina pursued higher education, graduating from the University of Greenwich in 2014 with a degree in sociology. Later, in 2020, she completed her PGCE teaching certificate at the University of Bedfordshire, shaping her path to becoming a beloved educator. Sabina had ambitious plans, including teaching in the UAE, but her promising future was tragically cut short. At the time of her untimely death, she was just 28 years old. Sabina was not only a teacher, but also a vibrant personality in her community. Her flat, which she shared with a flatmate, was her pride and joy, filled with fresh flowers that reflected her joyful spirit. She had chosen to settle in an affordable southeast London neighbourhood that attracted young families and professionals. On the evening of September 17, 2021, Sabina Nessa set out from her home in Astel Road, Kidbrooke, for a brief 5-minute walk to meet a friend at the Depot pub in Kidbrooke village. It was a seemingly ordinary Friday evening, with the park and streets bustling with activity. However, as Sabina made her way through Kidbrooke Park, her life took a horrific turn. Kochi Selamaj, a 36-year-old former delivery driver for Domino's Pizza, was lurking nearby. CCTV footage captured him in the vicinity of Kidbrooke Park at 8 p.m. At 8:30 p.m, as Sabina was walking through the park, Selamaj ambushed her with a blunt instrument, believed to be a traffic triangle. The attack rendered her unconscious before he dragged her into nearby bushes, where she was allegedly strangled. This act of violence was carried out with chilling precision. Selamaj's actions were cold and calculated. Before he incapacitated Sabina with 34 blows to the head from a metal emergency triangle, he had been lurking in the park, waiting for his victim. Sabina's whereabouts and activities were tragically used against her that night. The aftermath of the attack was equally disturbing. Selamaj attempted to conceal Sabina's body, covering her with grass, leaves, and removing her underwear and tights. Her lifeless body lay undiscovered for almost 24 hours.
Forensic teams search for clues outside the community centre in southeast London, where the woman's body was found. She's now been named as 28-year-old Sabina Nessa, a local primary school teacher who lived nearby.
Police believe Sabina Nessa was attacked in this park at around 8:30 on Friday night, a time when it was likely being used by many people, including dog walkers and joggers. They're now appealing for any witnesses to come forward.
Officers have described what happened here in Kidbrooke as a shocking incident, something echoed by local residents.
Just thought it was really sad it happens to such a young woman.
It's very scary, especially here. It's like a family area.
Sad and it's scary. It's quite scary. Especially I was feeling very safe here, and now it's like you never know.
Ms Nessa was a teacher at Rushy Green Primary School in Lewisham. Today, in a statement, the head teacher said, "We are devastated by Sabina's tragic death. She was a brilliant teacher. She was kind, caring, and absolutely dedicated to her pupils. She had so much life ahead of her and so much more to give, and her loss is desperately sad." A man in his 40s was arrested on suspicion of murder, but has since been released under investigation, pending further inquiries. Police say they're working around the clock.
Kochi Selamaj, the man behind this brutal crime, had a history that raised questions about his intentions that night. Beyond his employment as a delivery driver, Selamaj had a darker side. He had a history of violence, including incidents of domestic violence with his former partner, which should have raised red flags. What is particularly chilling is that Selamaj seemed to have premeditated his heinous act. He had booked a hotel room in London, far from his residence in Eastbourne, East Sussex, hinting at a sinister intent. Furthermore, he had met with his former spouse and attempted unsuccessfully to engage in sexual activity with her in his car before travelling to London for the murder. This sequence of events suggests a disturbing level of planning and a clear intention to harm someone that night. In a deeply troubling development, police were called to a dispute involving Selimaj regarding payment for his hotel room just hours before the murder. The fact that this dispute was related to his presence in London on the night of the murder raises disturbing questions about whether authorities missed an opportunity to intervene. After he committed the murder, he drove back to his residence in Eastbourne, East Sussex, and carried on with his life like nothing had happened. Until that is, when there was a knock on his door from the police. Kochi Selimaj received a life sentence for the murder of Sabina Nessa. The judge imposed a minimum term of 36 years, meaning he will not be eligible for parole consideration until he has served at least 36 years in prison. This sentence reflects the seriousness of the crime and the need to protect society from a dangerous individual who committed such a brutal and premeditated murder. Sabina Nessa's tragic death reverberated through her community and beyond.
My sister was funny, lovable, caring. She loved fashion. She was a shopaholic. Very girly girl. So yeah, like wardrobes popping at the seams because there's too many clothes. How could he do that? How could he hurt my sister? My whole world just crumbled down.
She was a beloved teacher at Rushy Green Primary School in Lewisham, described as kind, caring and dedicated to her young pupils. Her parents, Abdur Roof and Azibun Nessa, expressed their profound grief and anger at Selimaj, referring to him as an animal who cruelly took their daughter away from them. Sabina's sister, Sabina Yasmin Islam, called him a coward for not attending his own sentencing. Sabina was remembered as an inspirational figure, powerful, fearless, and bright. In the wake of Sabina's murder, vigils were held to remember her and to call for increased safety measures for women in the UK. More than 500 people attended a vigil at Pegler Square in Kidbrooke village, where Sabina Yasmin Islam addressed the crowd, expressing gratitude for the support and describing Sabina as an amazing, caring, beautiful sister. Sabina Nessa's tragic fate drew comparisons to other recent high-profile cases of violence against women in the UK, such as the abduction, rape, and murder of Sarah Everard. These incidents sparked discussions about the safety of women. On your screen now are two videos. One is on the murder of Sarah Sharif. The other is on the case of Mahek Bukhari, the infamous TikTok murderer.